The Way Forward, a poem with verses written by participants of our Four Seasons grief groups and performed by our grief services team.
What I'm learning about grief is grief has a heavy feeling that hurts. Grief comes in waves, sometimes crashing, sometimes gently flowing. Grief can give perspective about what and who is most important and matters.
What I am learning about grief is no timetable. Each his or her own way. Love never dies. Be more compassionate. Be gentle with yourself and others. It gets better, but never goes away. Let go of guilt.
What I'm learning about grief is it's as unique as we are. My strategy is to disconnect. Connection around it is uncomfortable, and I never find connection uncomfortable. It's really hard to stay out of judgment. It operates in the background.
What I'm learning about grief is wordless, beyond words, an unthinkable thing that steals everything. What I'm learning about grief is not even tears can dissolve it. What I'm learning about grief, it has its ups and downs. It appears out of the blue. It leaves sometimes shortly after it comes, sometimes not. Sometimes it comes like a storm, sometimes like a soft wind. I always get over it in time. The weather affects its mood.
What I'm learning about grief: be tolerant. Share your thoughts with others. Be kind to yourself.
What I'm learning about grief: it comes like a quick, brief thunderstorm or a soft, gentle shower.
What I'm learning about grief, it's always with me. Some days are better than others. Other people are in the same spot as me. I just have to ask family for help. It robs me of pleasures. My health concerns are worse now because I need to make decisions about getting surgery. I have to be the strong one in the family and always feel pressure.
What I'm learning about grief is it's okay to be sad, okay to be happy, okay to cry. It's okay to talk to them.
What I'm learning about grief: grief does not leave. It changes depending on the day and the situation. It can be rude, funny, even mean, but ever-changing, like the clouds in the sky.
When I'm learning about grief, I'm not alone. When I'm learning about grief, I don't like it. It is not a discerner of persons. It will probably always be a part of me. I don't see myself walking out of a circle, meaning it's a never-ending entity. Its colors rust, has a hard time defining itself. It is orange, or is it brown?
What I'm learning about grief: ups and downs. That I can still smile and laugh, not just cry. It affects each differently.
What I'm learning about grief is it's universal, yet very personal. It will catch you in the back of your knees when you least expect it. It doesn't always make sense. Sometimes you just have to cry. It never goes away, but in time seems to find its place within you as a person. It changes you.
What I'm learning about grief: it comes and goes, sneaks up on me at unexpected moments. It's seeing something joyful yet brings tears, memories. It's a loss of that hand, the one that warms, encourages, and reassures.
What I'm learning about grief: it's a teacher. It's a game changer. It allows one to grow. It allows me to empathize with others. Some days it flies away like a butterfly. Some days it returns lighter than the week before.
What I'm learning about grief: it sucks. You have to decide if you want to live all your life in grief, or decide to take the change to live your life. Grief will always be around, but you can try to live your life. Grieving is part of life, but it is always there, just not as bad as the years go by.
What I'm learning about grief is it's not logical and can't be thought out. It finds me at unexpected times and places. For me, it has diminished in big steps.
What I'm learning about grief, it's exhausting. It's lonely. It hurts. Needs to fade into good memories. Needs to be shared. Makes my body ache.
What I'm learning about grief, not every day is as suffocating as before. I learn most people, or it seems as if, don't know what to say to you, or they avoid it. It ebbs and flows. It's painful. It needs to be shared, not be left out.
What I'm learning about grief. Grief comes to all, if only a matter of time. It tears at our emotional moorings and turns sweetness into limes. Down into the depths I did not know I had, carving into places keen.
What I'm learning about grief is to accept loss of my loved one and just try to accept the change of living alone and acceptance of doing everything on my own. To have friends in and to go places with them. Enjoy family more. To talk about my loved one when a thought of him comes up, and enjoy the things others say about them.
What I'm learning about grief, it is universal and it is unique. It becomes part of us and brings change to our life. Grief is a reflection of love for those we've lost. Grief brings understanding and empathy for others. A community of grief brings healing and helps us know we are not alone. Grief comes upon us in unexpected ways. Avoidance is useful on some days, but can't be the way we heal or find a way forward from our loss.
What I'm learning about grief, it will always be heavy in my heart, but you can put a smile on my face and lighten my heart. When I see his face, picture, still hear his voice, his laugh, a hug from her, learning how lucky we were to have him, and my soul is at peace when I'm in the woods, listening to the breeze, how blessed with the memories we shared, and will do what I can to be and share them. Strange, but a smile helps dry my tears until the next time. I'm learning that I grow around my grief, and sitting on my deck surrounded by nature is processing grief because I am in the moment, and being in the present moment is growing.
What I'm learning about grief. Grief comes straight at me and hits hard, most of the time. However, grief also comes to me from the places I'm not looking, blindsiding, places that surprise me and scare me. I'm learning that tears are my friend, a friend that sits with me in my darkness and solitude. Grief, though difficult to face, is also showing me the way forward.
If you are grieving and need support, reach out to Four Seasons Grief Services at 866-466-9734 or visit fourseasonscare.org.